weather around the
Hello,
weather around the
everyone.
world is crazy.
Hi, Phrancko.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Well,
Judith.
here I am traveling again. I'm in Palm Springs visiting a friend this weekend. So
Well-
I'm just in a hotel room right now.
Very nice. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Oh, I always want to make time for this. This is my favorite hour of the week.
I think ours too. I finished the body of the sweater.
You did?
I cast it on during last week.
Yeah.
During your Zoom.
You cast it on last
Wow.
week and you've already finished the body?
Yeah, do it during the Zoom. Oh, I gotta show
Wait
you
a
the
minute.
saddles.
How can you knit? How can
See
you
the
knit that
saddle?
fast?
I'm a flicker, just like you. I flick with my finger.
It
But
takes
those
me
saddles, not a hole.
Lovely.
Nice.
saddle. You did a saddle. That's the saddle shoulder.
Yeah, it
Ah,
just,
cool.
I am so happy. Couldn't figure out how to get the cables on it. So I'm gonna do a V-neck drop down with cables. And I enrolled in KnitWiz,
Oh, I saw that.
so I can do the V-neck drop down and do the kind of math around, right?
Yep. Mhm.
So I'm gonna fuss with that, but I was so happy to finally get on your KnitWiz. And I don't yet know how to put my pattern from Phrancko into your KnitWiz.
It's already there, but
Oh,
I
it's
can,
already
I can,
there. Oh,
we can meet and I can show you. I don't have all the, like the tutorials, like how do you do this and how do you do that and stuff, but I
oh,
can show
that's all
you.
right. I work
That's
in
what I
IT.
did. I did with
could-
Frank and Cindy when they got on.
Yeah,
Met with them separate and
so I purchased a V-neck from Phrancko that actually it's my favorite, like dog walking sweater, my Phrancko V-neck.
yeah.
And I've got wool for it. And I would love to just put a simple cable, rope cables.
All
the way
repeat,
around.
all the way around.
Yeah, the saddle it was giving me a headache. I just needed to knit. And I could stock net. I'm one of those weird netters. I could stock net for days. I love it.
I like it when I'm working a pullover in the round and I can just go around.
Go
But
round
since
and
you
round.
did the whole body, I did this much. It's upside down, but anyway, that's all I've done all week. And going back and forth. I'm a fast knitter, or relatively, but slow purler. Especially if I don't want gutters, I'm a slow purler. So
I'm
Then
doing
you're
that
gonna hate my next
calisthenic
design.
bind off, where I'm doing the bind off. I do this. It's my exercise for the evening.
Yes, that's right.
yeah.
Burning calories knitting.
Well, I will send you an email and tell you how to do it.
Oh, okay. That'd be awesome.
And
Thank
if you
so
want to
much.
meet, we can do that too.
Yeah,
Because that would only take like 10 minutes to show you.
perfect.
What are you guys talking about? I came in late.
Oh, I finally got on KnitWiz and I was gonna take Phrancko's V-neck
Mhm.
and upload it into the KnitWiz so I could do the math and put a rope cable around it.
Ooh,
Mhm.
okay.
What do you mean around it? The cable's gonna go
Well,
horizontal?
So the rope cables will go vertical all the way
Oh.
down.
Okay.
Repeat around.
It'll
But they're
repeat around
multiple all the way around. Yeah.
multiples, but I want multiples of, so a 3x3 cable split by 3 pearls
I see.
so that it is every other 3
Right.
by 3 is right?
Yeah.
Just wanted it.
Then the other question is, do you want it to center? How do you want to write? How do you want to do the stitch pattern so that you center? Do you want to center the cable down the middle of the V
I
and
want,
then have it split, or
I
just
want to
stop?
split, exactly. I want that one rope to end at the V and split up the neck.
Okay. I can show you how to do that. I actually did a pattern like that already once.
Yeah.
Sounds like my
What a-
last published pattern.
I was gonna
Kinda,
say,
yeah.
didn't you do a pattern like that?
Yeah,
You
I mean,
did.
my next published pattern, the
Your
the
cables
cable
are
goes up the
insane.
sides of the V and meets in the middle and then goes down the middle. But it's not an
Right,
all
which
over
is
cable.
beautiful.
So
Mine will be much simpler. Your
It's a
cables
simpler
are
cable, yeah.
insane. You are
if
so
it was a
ambitious.
simpler cable, you wouldn't have to do, what I had to do was create a bunch of short rows to enable the cables that are wide and vertical to slope
Yeah.
along
Oh,
the
right.
sides. So
Right.
that meant you had to fill in gaps on each side with short rows. And then
Right.
again, when they met in the bottom. Otherwise, you've really got cables that are going like this and you're just pushing them this way, and that doesn't work well. But a narrow cable, I don't think will matter. Is that
A
right?
narrow cable will work okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've done
Yeah.
that before. But yeah,
Yeah,
a
that's-
wide one won't. And actually, even a wide cable or any kind of complicated cable thing, oftentimes has a different row gauge than the stockinette
Yes.
around
I
it.
ignored that.
Did you? Because you can add more repeats, basically in your cable, and then to make up that difference.
It
it's not
it
just the
didn't
width.
strike me as being a problem, so I didn't address
Yeah, it's probably not, but it could be if it
Yeah,
was wide
I could
enough. and
think it could
pretty
be.
enough.
Well, hello, everyone. We haven't actually had official greeting time. We were just kind of talking with everyone. So let me just say hi to Sumner. Hi, Kathy. We've already been chatting. Hi, Mary.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Judith.
Hi.
Our next featured Phrancko sweater knitter in the newsletter. Thank you so much for answering the questions. And I know people are going to be happy to read about that. Hi, Jenny.
Good evening, hello.
Hi. Hi, Cindy. You're muted, Cindy.
Yeah.
The dog was barking. Belinda had hoped to join us. She's in the Norwegian mountains, but she wasn't
Wow.
able to, but she said to tell everybody hello. She's
Oh.
doing another sweater for her grandson.
I'm sorry, who did you say that was?
Belinda,
Oh, okay. Cool. Hi, Ron.
Hello.
Marcia, hi.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm
Sidra.
sorry. I missed the last 2 weeks. I had people over and I completely forgot that.
Oh.
about the meeting.
It's
I
easy
even
to
had it on
do.
my calendar too, but
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming back. I'm really happy to see you again. Hi, Sidra.
Hello there.
And hello, Walter.
Hello, Frank.
Hi, Rana.
Hello.
And Maris. Hi, how are you?
Good.
We don't see you today, Maris. Is that by
Oh,
your
sorry.
choice?
No. Let's see. There we go.
Yeah, there you are. Wow. It's quite a big group today.
Yes.
January.
And
Lucky
it's freezing in
13.
New York.
I just got back from a 2.5 hour snowshoeing.
Oh, God.
Who said that?
Wow.
Maris?
Me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paris.
oh
It was above
no.
0 today, so we finally went.
You went snowshoeing for 2.5 hours?
Hmm.
I think I'd collapse after that.
I'm thinking of
I'm
horseshoeing.
Right. I didn't know you
What
needed
is
to shoe
snow-
snow.
What is shoe snowing?
Yeah.
What is it?
Snowshoeing,
Snowshoeing.
Yeah, what is it?
where you wear
Maris-
snowshoes on the snow and you walk around.
Oh,
Snowshoes
never heard of
are, Maris, why don't you describe the snowshoes?
Snowshoes are, well, there's, they used to be like made out of wood and have
Ah.
mesh string mesh. Now they're all high tech where they're metal and different fancy things.
Oh,
Okay.
Never heard of those.
They have claws underneath them now so you don't slip and you can climb, up slopes easier. And
Oh,
I had,
you
okay.
went down by the river.
the basic idea is it makes a very wide footprint so you can walk on the top of soft snow. Is that right?
Yeah, so you
And
don't
not
sink
down in
down
the
too
snow to your
much.
hip.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. We don't get enough snow for warrant that.
Where do you live?
In England, and we get virtually no snow. We get a light sprinkling of about 1.5 inches, and everybody panics.
that sounds like Texas.
Yeah, everybody panics, and then they stay indoors, and then after about 2 hours, it's melted anyway.
One of the nicest things about living in the northern part of the US is very large snowfalls, and then it's so quiet and everybody works from home and you get to just goof off and do nothing. So nice.
Yeah.
I've kind of just arranged my life in that way.
No, that's not true either. You always talk about all the things you do. I think you
So
knit faster
tired.
than- even
I'm
though
so
Sumner knits
tired.
fast, I think you knit faster.
We're doing spring cleaning here at the shop. Our warehouse next door to me had 2 years of pandemic dust in it. And yesterday I was just head to toe hives.
Oh,
I have the wonderful fortune of being allergic to both dust and mold, so there's really
Wow.
nowhere I can live. I actually only weigh like 160 pounds. I'm just very swollen
Yeah.
from my allergies. I used almost this entire bottle of lidocaine on myself yesterday. And today I feel like my entire body was heavily bruised about 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
wow.
But it's gross. And I've got like this huge air filter going on in this room. So Perrin was next door dusting things and pulling things out of the warehouse. And Tim here was in the front. Boop, 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 boop. He's hiding behind me.
I saw him.
like dusting out and restocking the shelves. And I was in here like looking like a sad pickle. So I'm still like trying to process all the Benadryl, I think.
does it affect your breathing also?
Yeah. The thing it's actually the worst on is my digestion, actually. Because about 45 minutes after I start getting hives on the outside of my body, I start getting them on the inside of my body.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, no.
And that's gross.
That sounds horrible.
Well,
That sounds like
there
a
are
trip
worse
to the
ways to it.
hospital.
That's why I didn't go snowshoeing today.
Next time you're coming
Because of
back.
all the snow you have in Vegas.
All the snow. What is it today? 17 degrees today.
17
Celsius.
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 Nice.
It's very nice. So I missed rehearsal yesterday because I'm going to bed. We were supposed to get headshots done, and I looked like Lon Chaney Jr. And she's like, no, I'm not getting headshots done today. It is out of the question. So I'm going home and ointmenting and Benadryling myself, and I'll see if I get out of bed tomorrow. But here I am.
But you did. You came just for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clara
So
did
what's
nothing
everybody
wrong.
working on this week? Let's do show and tell.
I'm finishing the baby sweater.
Oh, wow.
So,
That's getting quite
yeah.
a
So,
ways
you go.
done.
yeah, I'm on the collar. So
Oh, you're working the collar.
yeah.
Oh. That's great. And then you're going to start one for who? Yourself?
Yes, I'm going to start one for me. And then what else did I do? Let's see.
Shh, Fido.
Back again. I do Mary Maxim kits and I did this shawl. So
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh,
Oh,
That is
nice.
pretty.
yeah, it's a once a month thing. They send you a kit. It's $21. So
wow.
yeah, it's pretty neat.
That was $21,
Yeah,
including the
every month.
yarn?
It's $21.98, and they send you a kit. And this was a shawl. I think I have a kit with baby blankets. I have a kit with socks. They send you alpaca yarn, and it's a nice deal. So,
Wow.
My
I mean,
gosh.
now you have 1,000 pounds of stash all over the place, but you got all kinds of projects to do.
Yes.
The suspenders keep twisting. So.
So who else has something they'd like to share with us?
I do. I've got a question. Has anybody ever tried doing a Mobius mosaic?
Cal?
Done.
Yeah.
Can you do them?
Mobius?
Not the two at once.
All right.
So what I did on this thing was halfway through, instead of knitting the whole thing, I did purl on the half side. So the other half is like that. And I'm just curious if it'll work.
Wow.
That's what I've been working on all week long. So I'll
Never
see
tried it.
if it'll work.
Is it a twisted Cal?
It's a Mobius, yeah.
So-
Show us next week.
Yeah, I will. I'm hoping it'll, I should be be able to block it. I have a funny feeling it won't work. That you can see actually the twist, because the twist is almost going to be in the back. Otherwise, I don't know if it's going to work.
Did you cast it on like Cat 40 does?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great cast on.
yeah. So, I'm real curious if it's going to work. So I was going to do this one, and then I was going to do another one to see if you could just keep knitting it and you have half of it, I don't know. Just instead of doing the knit and purl, I just do the whole thing as a knit and see how that works out. Because I'm doing a knit along on a Mobius group,
Wow.
or not a Mobius, but a mosaic group.
Oh,
So
Oh,
we'll see.
that looks nice.
hold
Thank
it up
you.
again.
Yeah.
So
So
this
it's-
is the one
It's
side.
mosaic.
Where's the
Oh,
I
point at
see.
which it changes?
That's
Hold it up and turn it slowly.
Well,
we can
okay,
see.
so I'm at the point right now where I'm in the middle here. So here, this is, oh, don't lose that part. So you can see where I've done the knit and the
Yeah.
purl
Mhm.
break there.
Oh,
All
yes.
So we'll see.
Are you changing yarn colors or is that just one color?
No, I'm changing yarn colors.
Oh,
Yeah, it's two
nice.
different yarns.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a stash.
Don't
Nice.
we have that?
I'll let you know next week. My poor sweater got put aside for this.
Anyone else?
I'll
Well,
show
I'll
my
talk.
sweater.
Oh, go ahead, Marcia.
Oh, sorry.
Mm-mm.
This is your sweater, Frank, your pattern.
Uh-huh.
I started putting the stripes in. I don't know if you can see that.
Nice.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice. Look
Beautiful.
at that.
You see they're
I
getting
like
bigger.
how they gradiate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the last time I joined you, I was telling you this is hand spun.
Mm.
And I was concerned I wouldn't have enough, so I decided to add the stripe. But then my plan was to do 3 rows of the brown and then in between 6 rows of the green. But I began to worry I wouldn't have enough of the green. So I talked to my friend who's a math instructor, and she said to put the stripes in the Fibonacci sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very
Everybody
nice.
knows about that probably.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. So it's going to be 4 stripes of the 3 rows, and then 3 stripes of 5, and then 2 stripes of 8. And then
Yeah.
I think I'll be at that point, I'll be at the ribbing, and that'll be 13.
Oh,
And then I have to decide what I'm going to do when I get to the sleeves, because I have, I don't know if you can see this, I've got 1 stripe of the brown in there.
Yeah.
So that's
and where
gonna
is
be
that? I'm sorry, that's on the sleeve?
Yeah,
What
this is
was
on
that?
the top of the sleeve.
Oh, I see.
Because you see here, I've joined under the arm right here.
Yes, uh-huh.
I can't hold it very well. Oh, there we go.
Uh,
So you can see there.
Are you going to do stripes down the sleeves, or are you going to do them solid?
Well, I think I'm going to have to do stripes because I have the beginning of I have 1 stripe on the sleeve cap.
It could just be an interesting
That's true.
variation, you know. Very innovative.
You could work backward in the Fibonacci sequence, removing green and moving into brown. Treat that first sequence of green as the largest section of a Fibonacci sequence and decrease it down the sleeves.
Okay, now say that again. So just reverse the.
You could treat the however many rows of green you have at the end of your sleeve cap there. You could treat that as the largest number in your Fibonacci sequence of green, as though there were a Fibonacci sequence coming up from the sleeve. So for example, if that's 8 rows, then do whatever of brown, and then 5 rows of green and whatever of brown, and then 3 rows of green, etc. So it can be brown at the end of the sleeves, but you still have a Fibonacci transition, and it's fairly economical with the green.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Oops, I'm sorry.
I've used the Fibonacci sequence in a number of my designs, including one of the very first designs I published was a cap. And I call it the Fibonacci cap, and it's on my list of designs. I did two caps that I sold, put up on Ravelry, and that was before I started doing any sweaters or any professional designing at all. And they're still there, and one of them is a Fibonacci sequenced striped hat.
Okay, all right, I'll go take a look.
And I also have used it in a sweater pattern called Gradient, only it's spelled GRAY-DIENT, Gradient. And there was an area where I was transitioning from a medium speckled yarn to a dark gray yarn, and I did them with a Fibonacci series in 2 directions.
Okay.
So I introduced the new yarn. I guess it was 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 5 rows, 8 rows, something like that. And then I got rid of the old yarn by going backwards in the alternate sequence.
Okay.
But that may be somewhat like what Ron has suggested, that you do one of the sequences in reverse or focus on the other color. There's just lots of things you can do with the Fibonacci sequence. It's just so versatile, and I guess I read years ago that designers often use it. And so I decided when I did my first or second hat, I decided I was going to see what it would look like, and I liked it. So that's a good choice you made. The sweater looks great.
Thank you. I don't know how many people are spinners, but knitting with hand spun is very satisfying. It feels different than the commercial yarn, and don't get me wrong, because I knit a lot with commercial yarn, but the hand spun is a little bouncier. I don't know if that's plumper. I don't know.
Softer? Is it softer? Or?
It might be softer. This is merino.
Loftier, maybe.
Loftier?
Yeah, but especially if you spin woolen.
Yeah, this is not woolen spun, but it does have kind of a plumpness to it, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
But my son goes to school I'm in Washington State, and he's in school up in Western Washington University, which I don't know if people are familiar with Washington State, but that's up in Bellingham near the Canadian border.
Mhm.
And they have closed because of the surge in the COVID. So he has been home all week, just working from home, but he's been watching the progress, and he announced that he likes the colors. So,
Oh, good.
okay.
Maybe you should see if he wants to learn to knit.
Well, actually, it's funny because he, before when the pandemic initially started, he was actually at the community college, and I don't know what you call that learning, but you basically kind of go at your own pace. All of the materials are online, but now they're actually having Zoom classes. So he has to be in class at a certain time. And he also is not really thrilled. He's getting right now, his major is business, but he is not going to be a businessman at all. He's the kind of kid that would rather just live in the woods, that kind of thing, and climb, hike, and so it'll be interesting to see what he does. But he said he was sitting in these Zoom classes, and he asked if I had any yarn and a crochet hook that he could teach himself to crochet, because he was so bored. He was unlacing all of his shoes and then relacing them.
Oh my God.
That's not too far off from crochet, or macrame or something.
Yeah.
He's a little bored with business. I think it's not going to be his thing.
Yeah, I almost majored in getting lost in the woods, but
yeah.
I've thought about it a few times.
Yeah.
I know.
I running away from home, never to be seen again.
Yes, as his mother, I kind of understand the feeling of wanting to get away, but I think it's really, deciding on a major, and that's difficult anyway. But then you throw a pandemic in there, and then all of this gloom and doom about the environment, and he's very environmentally conscious, and he's out in nature all the time. I think he's seeing the evidence of warming. So especially up here in the Northwest, all the glaciers are shrinking. So he's seeing all that, and I think that it's difficult for young people now. We didn't have that when we were in school. We had other concerns, but
Yeah. I always thought it was crazy that you go off to college at the age of 17 or 18, and you're expected to know what you're going to do with the rest of your life. You have to choose a major, and that's supposed to be the thing you're going to work in the rest of your life.
I know, it's ridiculous.
I completely violated that plan. I majored in chemistry in college, and I did a year of graduate work in chemistry. And then I dropped out and I became a hippie Jesus freak. And then I ended up pastoring a church for 5 years in Maine. And after that, I was a minister for 5 years. Then I went back to school and studied computer science and became a software engineer. That was the bulk of my life. I did not know I wanted to do that when I was in college. It was 10 years later by the time I got around to doing that. And so then I was a software engineer, and then I retired from that, and I became a professional knitwear designer and website developer.
Right.
So you don't have to do the same thing all your life if that's not what
That's
you
what I
want to do.
keep telling him,
They do help students these days. Like, you make that decision at 17, and then you know what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, which is paying off these loans.
Right.
That's true.
Maybe.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting talking to him that he says that his concern is that college is training you to be a cog in the wheel. And I'm like, okay, well, it's very, yeah, I think he just needs to go. He has a motorcycle that he's ridden twice to Alaska, and he's talking about riding it to South America. And even though I hate the idea of him
Oh, wow.
riding through Central America.
Mm.
I kind of think you should go. I think sometimes having these experiences probably
Yeah.
helps us
I-
figure out. I mean, did anybody follow the traditional path? Go to college, get your 4th degree, get a job, and stay in that career your entire life?
Well,
Yes.
some careers demand it. Like my husband is a physician, so once
Yeah.
he chose to do that, that did set his life for as long as he could do it.
Mhm.
And I think it's true from certain other professions, usually in the medical field. But
Yeah.
anyway, who else has something they'd like to share with us?
Well, I've got another sweater going.
All right.
Oh,
Hmm.
Oh, that's really pretty.
That's
Oh.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Love the
love that.
color.
Yeah.
Is that a mohair?
pardon?
Is that a mohair? It looks like a mohair, kind of.
Yes, there is. I'm holding a mohair with a, which is on the floor now. Whew. This
Hmm.
sort of lofty Aaron and a hand dyed
Very nice.
mohair
wow.
together.
Lovely.
Oh, and so you're holding them together?
Yeah, again, like that raglan I showed last time.
Yeah.
This is a Phrancko though, and I want to sort of codify how to put those double stockinette tubular bind off cuffs and hem on, so I can have that written out as a tutorial.
Uh-huh.
Just because I liked it so much. So I'm
I'd
knitting the whole
love to do
sweater.
it.
I'm fully aware that I could have just like swatched a tube and
Yes.
made a tutorial, but I'm making a whole sweater. So yes, this is what I made. About this much progress today. I separated the arms today, but otherwise that's what I've been working on at rehearsals, because Lady Bracknell does not appear in Act 2.
Oh.
So I have plenty of time.
So is Lady Bracknell going to have a beard?
No, that's why I've been slowly shaving my beard down.
You don't have to do
Acclimate my
that
face
slowly,
to it.
Ron. You don't have to. You can just get rid of
Whip
it
it
all
off.
at
My skin
Good.
is 2 different colors.
once.
I've had the beard for years.
It might be too
So-
much of a
so
shock to
I'm,
do it all at once.
Yeah, if I shaved it, I would look like I was wearing clown white
Oh,
on the lower half of my face.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that, and like I will live my life without a beard for the length of the run of the show, but otherwise beardlessness is a lifestyle choice of which I do not approve. But
I wish you'd tell my husband, because he's thinking about shaving his off.
oh
I'll tell him what you said.
yeah, some
Yeah.
men get that
Ron
itch.
doesn't
I don't
approve.
know. You want to make a desperate change? Just go buy a sports car. I don't know. Don't do anything drastic. But yeah, it's I'm gonna be shaved in full Edwardian era cosmetics, a big Gibson girl wig, a giant hat with a pheasant in it. I don't know how I'm going to fit through the doors or in any of the furniture, to be honest with you. Like the next tallest person in this production is about 4 inches shorter than me.
Uh,
And then I've got the giant hat and the wig and heels.
Call RuPaul. She'll tell you how to do it.
It may be. I am probably at least 2.5 adult RuPauls in size. I don't know if that's.
She does make her
typical-
face up good, though.
But at least it's handy for the costumer because I knit so much. I've always got a measuring tape around and I know my own body measurements. Whereas you ask most men, like, what size jacket do you wear? Large. No, that's not what I meant. So it's like, what's your underbust measurement? I happen to know that. So
So
that's it.
Ron, are you gonna do it like a video tutorial for that really cool sleeve bind off that you showed us?
Yeah, that is the plan.
Good, because I want to use it. I want to do something with it.
Okay. Yeah. So once
Mhm.
I get to the waistband of this, well, I might put the stitches on hold on the waistband, do one of the sleeves down to the cuff, and then I can show how to apply it to the cuff, the waistband, and the collar. I'm gonna.
Oh,
Nice.
very cool.
Looking great. Rana's got her hand up. What's up, Rana?
Ron, would you send us or show us a picture of you in full costume?
Oh, I would be ever so glad to.
Awesome.
Yes, we demand it.
We'd be
How
ever
can I
so glad to
disappoint
see
my
it.
puppet?
There we go, better. Okay.
Yeah.
Which play is it? I've forgotten.
The importance of being earnest.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, a friend of mine was directing it. One of my knitters, actually. She's a knitter here. She was a high school theater teacher when I was in high school. And we were friends, and she messaged me and was just like, have you ever considered playing Lady Bracknell and the importance of being earnest? And I was like, well, yes, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know that you're. Oh yeah. I'll send you some photographs. Speaking of sending you things, Sumner, I sent you some messages
Oh, thank you.
regarding the hat and the yarn.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sure thing.
Someone
can't
else
wait to
want to share
start.
something?
Who?
Anyone want to share something?
Well, I have a question for Ron.
Yeah.
Ron, I just got some Portuguese knitting pens,
Oh yeah,
and I was thinking of doing that hat in Portuguese.
yeah.
So is it about the pattern? Did you put the pattern out, or do you not have the pattern yet?
The pattern exists. Yeah, I sent you a link to it.
I'm so excited because I bought Portuguese knitting pens for that hat.
Yeah, awesome. That-
Yeah, because
fun.
it just,
Yes, Sidra knits
my-
that way, right?
my
Yep.
floats work better that way. So if I go left to right instead of right to left in Portuguese, it'll come out perfect.
We're talking about this hat in case anyone thinks it's a mystery.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. yes.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I just published the pattern on Ravelry, and Sumner had been waiting for it.
It looks like an Egyptian. It looks like an Egyptian.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah,
hieroglyphics. Now,
they
see,
do.
It's Enterprise Ds and Borg cubes.
Cool. That is very nice.
I love. So I may put this aside to knit myself a reticule bag to have as Lady Bracknell. When Kathy, my friend who's directing this, she played Mrs. Higgins in my production of help me, it's language, My Fair Lady. And I designed a reticule bag for her to knit and carry as that character. So now I may do the same for this one, and we'll have a little collection of reticule bags that we've hand knit for one another's.
Is the Portuguese knitting where you have like a pin on that the yarn goes through?
Yes.
Sidra,
Yeah.
you do this,
Yeah.
right? Is Sidra here?
Okay.
Sidra does
I
it
got
too.
mine.
Let's get Sidra.
Are you doing that right
There
now?
is she. Oh,
Yes,
there
I
she
am.
is. Hi.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
There. Okay.
So I keep better tension this way. Otherwise I row out no matter what I do.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I've gone.
Do you flip it with your thumb?
Yes. Yeah. So when I'm trying to do two colors, I have a real hard time tensioning
Mhm.
the other
Right.
hand. So, yeah.
That's cool. That's very good.
Wow.
And is
We're
that the only way
talented
that you
beyond
knit?
our means.
What's that?
We're talented beyond our means.
Right.
So
Sidra, is that the only way that you knit, or do you just use it with color work?
No, I will sometimes in the middle of doing this, if I have a stitch that to me doesn't work well, I'll throw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's how I learned originally, was throwing.
I find that throwing with my right hand and using and flicking, or not flicking, Portuguese knitting the dominant color, the most leftmost color, when working stranded knitting flat is very helpful. Like is it advisable to do stranded knitting flat? I don't know. But if you do, the most dominant yarn, I think I have found it pretty easy, like making corrugated ribbing on a flat border or something to throw with one hand and Portuguese style with the other.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's some kind of combination knitting.
Yeah. Because I mean, you got your yarn in your right hand. Oh, actually, if you're right-handed, you're throwing with your left hand, aren't you? No. Yes? Yes, no?
No? No, you throw them with your right hand.
Well, how do you keep your yarn from?
You can't possibly get them mixed up because one's being tensioned in front of you like this and the other is coming from, in my case, my beard.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I've done a pin on both sides.
I don't, and then since that pulls forward like so, the one one would be going in this direction, the other is coming in this direction. So they're pretty easy to manage actually. But yeah, when I knit Portuguese, I don't use a pen, I use, well, my beard, so I can't do that for the next month.
Then you have to do a video about that.
Yeah,
Ron,
we
when you
need to
can.
see that.
So we have to see that.
Cindy, what are you working on?
I am working on a sock again, and this is for the MHK, or not a sock, a mitten for the MHK. I finished all my notebook and got everything all checked, everything all printed, and thought I was going to go, and I don't like the mitten that I did. The gauge is a little bit off, and so I'm doing another mitten.
Well, that's true. The gauge is checked. How bad off was it?
It was not horrible. Here's how it was. But it was only coming out to 21.2. When I did my swatches, it was 21.6 or 21.7, and I'm going for 22. But
Oh, I
when
thought it was 23. Is it not 23?
Oh, don't tell me that.
I may not remember right. It's been a while.
No, the new one's for 815. It's supposed to be 22 stitches. For
Okay,
4 inches.
22. Okay.
Yeah. So
hold
I
up the
was-
mitten again. Okay.
Isn't that cute?
Have you measured the length?
Yes, my length is spot on for how
Okay,
it should
good.
be of
Well,
the
that's-
6 inches or whatever it's supposed to be, because you measure to here and then you measure again to there, and
That's
the length
right.
is good. I'm happy with this, and not holes. I'm happy with how the top did, and kind of all that. But the gauge is
How far off is it again? It's supposed to be 22 and yours is what?
It's supposed to be 22. It's 21.2 is what it is. So it would round down to 21. So it needs to round up to 22. When I did the swatches, I was coming out at like 21.6, 21.7, which does round up to 22. So that was okay.
Slightly
But then
less.
when I actually did the mitten, it was the other.
Can you
So I'm
block
doing
it and stretch it a little
yeah,
bit?
oh gosh, I blocked it.
You stretched it as much as you could. It's still
I had someone suggest, who shall remain nameless, but who is on this thing, suggest to just throw it in the dryer for a little bit and see if it would shrink up. I did not do that.
But that was a joke.
That was Kathy. But I didn't do that.
But,
So I'm.
but your room gauge would be wrong then, maybe.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know
Yeah.
she was joking, and so or I think she was joking. I took it as a joke.
I'm sure.
So I'm redoing. Redoing it.
I don't want to give away any secrets, but if that was the only problem with your mitten, I would accept it. if everything
You're
else.
kidding. Now you tell me after.
Well, that's just me, and I can't say what anybody else would do. And you have to
Well-
get it past a co-chair, but
Right. We'll just see if the second mitten doesn't look as nice as the other one, I will send the other one.
yeah.
But I think this is going to be fine too. I'm hoping it's closer on the stitch gauge. But
Okay.
everything else is in their little sheet protectors and all edited and printed. And I had my grandson come and take pictures. It was way
Wow.
cool. So
Hmm.
everything's all done. I even have my box.
And when did you start this level?
I signed up in May, and then I started just really reading all the articles and everything. And I read all of the cast on magazines for back years. I read the Tech Talk for level 1 back to like 2016.
Uh-huh.
And then I really started knitting seriously in September.
I see.
Good.
So one of these days it'll get out. We'll see.
Wow, it sounds like you're doing it really fast to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I get
mean,
up every
especially
morning.
since you did all those other things like Suzanne's projects.
Right,
I mean,
all of that.
bootleg,
Boot camp.
what is it? Boot camp, not
I
bootlegging.
did boot camp. I
camp.
did the basics class, and then I did taming tension this
Yeah.
last
That's
a little over a
incredible.
year. But I get up every morning and between like 4 and 5, and then I knit for, don't tell Jerry, but it's about 6 hours before he gets up. And sometimes I knit in the evening some too, but that's my time for when I knit and study and read and write. I like it.
So
Are you
what
finished with boot camp now?
Yes, I'm done with boot camp. I've done boot camps 1 through 4.
Amazing.
I will say one funny thing. In my blocking report, I would guess, and I would make a bet that I am the only person that mentions a gorilla in their blocking report.
A gorilla?
No,
Mentions a gorilla, Mhm.
I'm mostly stuck to baboons.
Okay.
Yeah, the lesser apes are more my thing when it comes to blocking.
I could tell.
Why
when I
did you mention a gorilla?
Well, when I had been writing for kind of like too long, I started to get a little bit rummy. And so there was one part where it was like talking about, your care of your hand knits. And it's like, okay, you're supposed to like fold them up, don't hang them because it will stretch it out. And so I wrote about, fold it up neatly, don't hang it up or it'll stretch out and your sweater will fit a gorilla and nobody wants it.
Your sweater will hold a gorilla.
That's
That's very
gorilla.
good. That's
So,
right.
so there's that.
Well, first of all, plenty of people would like gorilla sweaters.
Well, I know, but just not people writing the blocking report.
I wondered if maybe like if you got a gorilla and it was too small,
It's
you print it out
true.
and spray it.
You could spray it and just hang it, and the sleeves would hang down, body more. Yeah, that would work. I just can't figure out how to do that with the mitten.
Frank, that cable sweater you made, how did you block that?
Mm.
How did I block it?
Yeah, I mean, that,
I didn't do anything special because
No?
I was under a tight deadline and I was trying to get it out. So I saturated it. I didn't soak it. I sprayed it really well with a mister.
okay.
And then I pulled it out to the dimensions that it was supposed to be as a whole. I did not treat the cables separately from the rest of it, which would have been more ideal, but then I would have to take more time. And so I did what I had to do to get it in the mail to Arinda. Who's the,
When is the next book coming out?
what month are we in? For February 1st.
Oh, all
February
right.
1st is when the next issue of Cast On comes
Right.
out.
Because I signed up for one. I haven't seen it come in yet, so that's why I was asking.
Well,
Well,
you know,
you can look
you
at
get all
all
the
the
past
old
issues
ones.
too.
All the past ones you can look at.
Oh, all right.
Mhm. Under member resources.
Okay.
The cast
I
on.
just got my computers back because they were all full of malware and stuff. So
Oh,
$240 later, they're all fixed.
Judith, what are you working on? I know a little
Um,
bit, but would you like to
oh.
show everyone?
I'm working on a sock.
Oh, a sock. Oh, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
fine. You don't always have to be doing Phrancko sweaters to be here. No.
No, I've put my future Phrancko sweater on hold because I have to figure out how to design the hood.
Yes.
Which I've been talking about last week.
Yes.
Cindy gave me nice references, so I could read and figure it out. But I didn't take the time to read yet. I'm now a member of TKGA, so I can read a little more. Yeah, so I just have to sit down and make a chart, figure out how many short rows and where, and try it. So I might start tomorrow. Meanwhile, a small
There's
sock
the
for
sock.
myself.
Well, good. I will try to get the newsletter out this week. I hope I can do that. So it will be a January newsletter and not a February newsletter. But I really appreciate your response and your willingness to be our next featured Phrancko knitter. And I think people are going to be just so thrilled to see the dress that you made and to hear that you have not been knitting for 50 years and you were able to do a Phrancko sweater. It's just pretty amazing.
Yeah, I thought that it might encourage other knitters to try it.
Yes.
Because some might see it as something complicated. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not. I know you have to know a few techniques, but it's not a big mystery.
Yes. Well, thank you again.
You're welcome.
So who have we not heard from? Anyone? Can't remember who we have not heard
Jenny.
from. Oh, Jenny, there you
Yeah.
are.
So I am experimenting with a technique new to me, which is called triple knitting. So you're knitting with 3 different colors at the same time, but there are no floats. So you're knitting all the stitches and you're trapping a layer in the middle. So where you see a green here and a purple on the other side, there is a red in the middle, so it's layered, and then you switch the colors around. So yeah.
I've never even heard of that, Jenny.
No,
It's
me
beautiful.
I haven't either. This is
That's
amazing.
cool.
A whole new technique we haven't even heard of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where did you learn this?
This is from, I follow a designer in England called Nathan Taylor,
Okay.
otherwise known as Sockmatician.
Love him.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yes.
Yeah, and so this is a Nathan Taylor pattern. So the pattern you get on Ravelry, and it comes with all the instructions.
I see.
He's got another really cool one, which is in the design of the British flag as well, the Union Jack. But this is my first go at this. Yes, so
cool.
That's
coming
awesome.
It's gonna be warm, 2 layered.
Yes. Well, it's 3 layers thick. Yes, so it's going to be very warm. Yes, it's 3 because you can see the 2 outer ones, but you can't see the one that's in the middle.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there always the same one? Like if you have red on the outside, you always have the green on the inside and the purple on the
Yes.
middle, for example?
Yes. So you've got 3 different sections. So you've got a red and a purple and a purple and a red and a red and a green. It's looking like orange on the screen, but it is actually red. Yes. So it's the same sequence and you rotate them round.
Okay.
So you get different colors, but it's the same. Whenever you have a red, you'll have a green on the inside.
But whenever you have a purple on the outside, you have a red on the inside.
Yes, yes. You could mix it up, I suppose. So long as you, if you could mix it up and do whatever you like, but you wouldn't get this particular pattern, which is just rotating round.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah. But you can basically pick any 3 colours you like and design anything, so long as it's. You'd have to work out so long as it's 3 coloured and do it. But yeah, it's really. It's challenging when you first start. The cast on's a bit weird, and then getting the hang of manipulating the yarns. And at the moment I'm doing the decreases, which is just very fiddly because you have to rearrange all the stitches because you need to rearrange all 3 pairs before you do your decreases. But it's okay.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What is his Ravelry name?
Sockmatician.
Sockmatician is what he is on
Sockmatician,
Ravelry.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I knew
yeah.
that was his YouTube video name too.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But, yeah.
He has a good video for the tubular cast on.
Yes. And he's just soon to publish a double knitted brioche book. So I was one of the Kickstarter funders for him. He's been working on it for about 18 months. So it's going to be a whole book about double knitted brioche. And he's been sharing some of the patterns on his YouTube blog. They look really interesting. So I'm just waiting for that to come out and I'll have a go at one of those.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That's really
Yes.
interesting, and none of us had heard of it, I think. We just have a couple minutes more. Is anybody else have something they just are dying to share?
Oh, yes, I have something to share. I mean, not the dog.
Not the dog? Oh, please share the dog.
No, did anybody else, oh, Cindy did, catch the TKGA program today? Was on inclusive sizing. It was very good.
The TKGA what?
Was
Monthly, well, semi-monthly,
meeting.
bi-monthly meeting. I guess.
Oh, right. No, I wasn't able to do that. Vacationing here in Palm Springs.
This, oh, right. Well, yeah. You were at the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
The desert beach.
The desert beach.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I forgot. Well, it was on size inclusivity, and it was pretty interesting. So, and I think I don't know if they record it, but
I think it is recorded.
They usually do.
Recorded.
I thought.
It was being recorded while we were watching.
Yeah.
And then they were also going to post some of the links that she talked about for places that you could get information about grading patterns and making changes to make things fit to you, and books about size and inclusivity.
Yep.
I thought it was at the same I thought it was at 2:00, so almost at the same time as this Zoom meeting. So that's why I didn't.
It might have been 2:00 somewhere.
I think it was 2:00 Eastern because it was 11:00 Pacific time.
Okay.
Right.
So it's not. It doesn't conflict.
No. It was this morning for me.
So where would these videos be posted? I don't see it on their YouTube channel.
It will be on TKGA, and I think it's under member resources. If they have like virtual meetings, if there's a something or whatever, let me see if I can
Oh.
see.
Yeah, I
Oh
think.
yeah, virtual meetings.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Wow, I don't even know these things are here. How can I not know this?
Yeah, and then they take it off because like today I noticed last month's meeting recording no longer available.
Yeah, it's only there for like 2 months.
Oh.
To the next one probably.
I'm not seeing a link to a video. I'm seeing descriptions of the meetings.
Probably it's not there yet.
I see. We'll have to keep looking for it. I would love to see that. Well, it's time to say goodbye.
Okay. Have a nice week.
Bye.
Yes.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you next
Bye-bye.
time.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.
Till
Bye,
next time.
everyone. Thank you for coming. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.